This past 2 weeks has been very busy week for me because I'm busy with a few projects on hand. The very first project that I started with is the property project in KL. I'm going to buy a few properties to do my Airbnb business. I'm just going to be the lazy landlord, and I'm going to pass the property to the Airbnb operator to help me to handle everything. The second business that I'm going to venture into is the auction property business, which I need to set up a Malaysia company, and this company I have to partner with a local director who is going to take up 51% of the company share. In order to qualify to buy property that is under 1 million ringgit, I have to set up a company in Malaysia and partner with a local Malaysian who will hold 51% of the company share. We need to fully leverage on the bank's loan. We need a loan barrier who is able to help the company to borrow money from the bank. There are a couple of things we have to look into before we start a company in Malaysia. After a long search, I finally found myself 2 business partners who are local Malaysian, and we are starting 2 separate companies together. One business is Airbnb operator business, which will be located in KL and take care of all Airbnb operating businesses in KL. Well, for this business, I'll be the cash investor and the director of the company. However, I will not be in charge of the executions of the project, as I will be located in Singapore. So there will be an executor who will be helping me to manage the business in KL. In the meantime, I'm also looking at the shophouses in KL, because shophouses in KL are having great rental yield, and also it has great potential for capital appreciation. Once I identify the shophouse to invest, I will invite other cash investors to go along with me to invest in this project. Why do I invest in Malaysia's KL shophouse instead of Singapore shophouse? Well, the answer is very clear-cut. It's because the setup capital in Malaysia is so much lower as compared to Singapore shophouse. When the acquiring cost of the property is lower, definitely the risk of the business is lower. All I need to pay attention to is how much the rental yield I can collect from this property. As long as the rental is consistent and is of high value, then it's worth investing. I will set up a company once I identify the shophouse, and then I will buy the shophouse with the cash investors. The third project that I'm looking at is actually the auction flipping property project, which I will be setting up a company with a local partner, and together we will be able to buy properties under 1 million so that we can buy the property, renovate it and flip it. Each project that we are buying will bring us revenue of about 30K to 80K per project, depending on how fast we are able to flip and sell, also because of the renovating costs, so on and so forth. And I foresee that if in 1 year I can do at least 3 projects, and if the business is growing, I can even grow it up to flipping about 10 to 12 projects per year. The revenue that I'm going to fetch from this auction flipping property will be very attractive. Well, flipping property in Malaysia, to many of us, we are totally new to this concept, right? And don't worry, I will be sharing with you about this flipping property business in Malaysia. And if you are interested, you can do the business with me as well. If you are a Malaysian and you are a serious investor who is looking for a business partner, you can come and look for me. A few months ago, I remember I did a video about flipping property business in Malaysia. Most of the viewers are doubtful about the concept of flipping Malaysia property because they have no idea how it's done. We're more familiar with buying resi properties for own stay or for co-living or Airbnb. Many of us are not familiar at all with this auction bidding property because there are so many traps in it, and we have to be extra careful when we are dealing with these lelong properties. Because of the high risk in buying auction bidding properties, it is important for us to make sure that we are fully supported by a team of professionals in this business. When we bid for the properties, we will come into contact with the auction bidding officers, right? Well, my team is fully supported by these auction bidding officers. They are legalized bidding officers who are at the back of our projects and giving us advice how to bid these properties at the lowest bidding price. In order to maximize the profit, after we bid the properties at the lowest, cheapest bidding price, we must make sure that we can cut the cost of renovation to the lowest, so as to earn the greatest profit from the deal. And next, after we renovate our properties, we need to put it up in the market for sales. And we need to make sure that we are able to sell the property at the highest value. So we need a team of property agents to help us market the property. We have a team of more than 700 property agents all across Malaysia to help us market the property. After that, we need to pay for the legal fee. Some of you might be asking, so what about the tax for the sales of the projects, because it's less than 1 year and we are targeting for less than 1 year to sell the property already? Isn't that will be heavily taxed? And the profits that we're going to gain from the projects, isn't it all going to be used up for the property tax? My answer to this question is you don't have to worry, because we are not going to buy the property as an individual. Instead, we are buying the property as a company. So the property tax is not so significant, and I assure you that we are able to have ultimately a profit of 30K to 80K at the end of each project deal. The fourth business that I'm going into is the Nonya pastry business that Daniel and I are venturing into. Well, for this business, we are at the beginning stage. Both of us are using this Nonya pastry business as a platform to sharpen our business skill. There are so many ways to make money. All it takes is a little bit of effort and creativity, and also we must be willing to put in the time and the effort. Hope you have learned something from my sharing. If you like my video, please subscribe and give me a like. I'll see you next week. Bye!